You know, I think it's safe to say 2019 had no shortage of amazing games. What a way to close out the decade. Name's Dave, and this is WatchMojo's Top 10 Best Video Games of 2019. For this list, we're naming off our favorite games that are considered to be the best of 2019. Quick note though before we get started, normally for our best of the year list we usually exclude any ports, remasters, or expansions. However, because the Resident Evil 2 remake is vastly different to the original to the point where its gameplay and level design is not like the original, it will be eligible for this list. So let's get started.
I want to find out what's happening here and stop whoever's behind it.
Number 10, Untitled Goose Game. Honk honk. This game took the world by storm, and it managed to steal our hearts the same way its sadistic poultry stole everything else. By honking and flapping its wings like crazy. As a goose, it's your job to make everyone's lives as miserable as you can while crossing off tasks on your to-do lists, because apparently the goose can draw, before progressing to the next area. However, it's easy to get sidetracked and start conjuring up your own malicious deeds, as we've discussed on our list of horrible things you can do over on MojoPlays. While the game only takes a couple of hours to beat, its puzzles, music, and charm makes this indie title worth every penny. Number 9, Apex Legends. The biggest skepticism this game faced was the simple fact that it was, well, yet another battle royale game in an overcrowded market. Little did we know that this was going to shake up the formula. Apex Legends not only incorporated hero characters with a diverse set of abilities, but it also implemented a flexible ping system, making it easier for mic-less players to relay info to each other. It also made navigating around the map more entertaining thanks to the inclusion of sliding, ziplining, and balloons. It may not have been the Fortnite killer we were inclined to believe, but it certainly gave the giant a run for its money, and has appeased many players who are looking for more fast-paced action. Number 8, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
Use those cutters to create a distraction while you take your lightsaber and free the Wookiees inside. We need their help to stop the Empire.
Understood.
Finally! It's been a long time since we had a good Star Wars game since... When was the last good Star Wars game? Allowing Respawn Entertainment to have full creative freedom over Fallen Order and not cancel it was the best decision EA has made in, well, quite a while now, let's be honest. The gameplay might be a bit derivative, but mashing together elements of Tomb Raider, Uncharted, and Dark Souls just works for a Jedi game. Following Padawan Cal Kestis, and set 5 years after Order 66, Fallen Order tells a story that's, most importantly, necessary rather than superfluous, filling the gaps between Revenge of the Sith and Disney's anthology films. The combat is compelling, the environments are stunning, and the Force powers are awesome. Oh, and BD1 is just as cute as hell.
You hear that? He said he needs my help. Come on, buddy.
Number 7, Disco Elysium. Making a game without combat can be incredibly difficult to develop. After all, without conflict, what are the stakes? How do you create suspense or challenge the player's skill? Developer ZAUM found a way and succeeded with Disco Elysium, an RPG that puts players in the shoes of an alcoholic detective suffering from amnesia. What makes Disco Elysium such a memorable game is how it challenges you through dialogue trees and skill checks. If you want to solve the murder case, you'll have to know how to talk to certain characters in certain ways, and bolstering skills that can lead to both enhanced abilities and consequences. Trust us, there's plenty of reasons to check this game out.
You should throw the rake at him, Kuno!
Number 6, The Outer Worlds.
Gibbering, flesh-eating, law-breaking, unemployed lunatics with guns. Some hullhead grounded their spacecraft out in the open. That's a real good way to attract marauders.
To call it a spiritual successor to Fallout New Vegas would actually be an injustice. The Outer Worlds has proven it's more than just a callback to Obsidian's history with the Fallout franchise, the studio comprising of the staff of the old days of the 90s.
Sometimes I question my decision to be out here. But then I remember, free will is just an illusion.
With its fleshed out, well-written characters and colourful, vibrant environments, the game has managed to impress critics and fans alike, providing many starved players with an immersive action RPG we hadn't experienced in a long time. Its unique humour and personality also makes it one of the funniest AAA titles we've seen in recent years, satirising topics that run parallel with current events.
Suicide's a crime. The legal term is irreparable damage to company property. What Eugene did to himself was vandalism.
Number 5. Devil May Cry 5.
Yeah, he's a real pro at smashing demons around. That's why I built him that well-functioning arm, to kick demon ass.
Once we got a good listen to that song, Devil Trigger, we knew this hack and slash series was back and better than ever. Devil May Cry 5 was a wonderful return to Dante's story since we last saw him in 2008. That reboot doesn't count. The story was entertaining from start to finish, the combat was just as crazy as it's ever been, it was super stylish, sadistic, oh it was so awesome. And each of the 3 playable characters offered exciting new playstyles with their own respective abilities, although V could have used some work. Needless to say, those looking to kick demon ass may look no further. This game will do more than satisfy your bloodthirst. God, this was awesome.
Whoa, hey, wait, where are you going? Are you running away? That's not a good sign.
I'm afraid then, that's a little bit more than I can take on right now.
Number 4. Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Yes, good. If we're in the forest, we can sustain their attacks without losing the advantage.
The fact that this turned one of our most skeptical reviewers into a fan of the series speaks volumes about Fire Emblem 3 Houses. The newest game in this tactical RPG series is practically 3 games in one, boasting 3 factions that undergo their own storyline. Each portion of the game forces you to think critically about your situation, whether it's choosing between fishing or engaging in a limited time battle, or trying to figure out how to use the battlefield in your favour. Simply put, 3 Houses was an experience that mentally challenged you and touts enough characters and story to steal hours of your time. And we mean that in a positive connotation.
Yes, I thought the same. I am so sleepy once again.
Number 3. Luigi's Mansion 3. If you've seen my review of the game over on MojoPlays, you'll know exactly why this game is high up on this list. And the rest of the team quickly saw why too. Luigi's Mansion 3 became the game to play this Halloween, and it wasn't just because of the spooky ghosts or haunted hotel. With its exceptional animation, humor, the adorable Polterpup, Luigi's Mansion 3 took the best of what made the first 2 games so beloved and cranked it up to 11. It excels at presenting creative and challenging puzzles, which are more satisfying to solve when hits are turned off, by the way. On top of the phenomenal campaign, the multiplayer modes provide plenty of reasons to keep playing. It truly was Luigi's time to shine. Number 2. The Resident Evil 2 Remake. Wow, this was a remake that was so good, it set a new gold standard on how to do video game remakes. Based on the 1998 PlayStation Classic, this title showed a strong start for a year of gaming. Characters and environments were brimming with detail even in pitch black. Monsters like the Lickers and Mr. X were far more terrifying than they ever were 20 years ago. God damn that Mr. X.
Give me a break.
And the change in camera placement made the game just as difficult for veterans as it did for newcomers. Regardless of your nostalgia, Resident Evil 2 quickly became a must-own for all players, selling more than 4.5 million copies by the end of June 2019. Yeah, it's that good. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Honestly guys, this was a very tough year to nail down our 10 best games. Granted, we didn't have a runaway success like Breath of the Wild or Red Dead Redemption 2, but that also meant that all these games on this list had a fighting chance for Game of the Year. Even the following honorable mentions, which we will get to right now.
Go get him!
It's the storm! Just keep going! We gotta find new hope!
I owe you an apology. Lou was the name you were going to give your own baby if he'd have made it. I should have pieced it together sooner.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, about that last honorable mention, how do I say this? No one in the office liked it. Yeah, no one liked it. So, moving on to our number one choice. And WatchMojo's 2019 Game of the Year goes to Sekiro: Shadows Die Twice. Yes, we've gone back and forth all year of whether this game or Resident Evil 2 was the better choice, but ultimately, Sekiro won out due to the fact that it was an original IP. Having ended the Dark Souls franchise just a couple of years ago, we couldn't help but be amazed of how From Software put a new spin on its own formula. Focusing more on exploration, stealth, and vertical level design, Sekiro showed that this wasn't another Soulsborne game. Of course, it wouldn't be a From Software game without the grueling difficulty, a punishment we've come to love and never want to change. From Software has done it again. If you haven't played Sekiro, go check it out. I know Sekiro has a high barrier for entry, but trust me, the payoff is worth it in the end. The gameplay is just so rewarding. Anyways, that's it for the best of 2019. Be sure to check out these other great clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.